Hey everyone, Benjamin here. Today we're going to talk about anxiety. Welcome to the Important Conversation 2. So let's get started. So what I am going to talk about is different types of anxiety and the types I've had and how they affect me. So yes, let's get started with that. So first of all, I've got anxiety naturally because I'm autistic, especially social anxiety, and that's just a part of being autistic. And yeah, social anxiety affects your ability to socialize, and it affects your ability to talk to strangers, and it makes it harder to talk to strangers. And in big social situations where you don't know the person, you get very anxious, and you get very anxious about what people do or if they're talking about you. The thing you get most anxious about is just many people and the fact that they may be talking about you or talking bad about you. So that's probably the thing you're thinking about in that situation. Let's get on to generalized anxiety. So later on, I've developed generalized anxiety, which is anxiety about anything like bacteria, disease, anxiety about anxiety, uh, anxiety about other people thinking stuff about you, anxiety about death, anxiety about heart attacks, anxiety about you name it. So basically, my generalized anxiety started off as a bit of anxiety of disease and anxiety that I was deceased or I was going to contract the disease, especially deadly diseases such as meningitis. So that was the one that I started with, and I, went through the whole spectrum of hypochondria. So, like hypochondria is a basic part of generalized anxiety or sickness anxiety, health anxiety, and that's something I've had. And then I've been anxious about a load of stuff. Not gonna go into detail because I don't want to provoke my anxiety. And then I've had a couple of anxiety attacks, which comes with anxiety, no shit. And they're not nice. And I found a way to cope with them, which I'll probably make a video on if I'm bothered or my anxiety can handle it. So, and then I've had anxiety about people thinking stuff about me, or if I've done anything wrong, or if people are thinking that I'm not a good person, or if for example a friend doesn't reply, I'm anxious that they either are mad at me or I've done something wrong to them or something along those lines. And yeah. So basically, that's some of the most usual anxieties. If people don't reply to my texts if they've seen them, I get scared that they're mad at me or something. It's probably usually because they're busy or not bothered to do it, but my anxiety just takes over and thinks out of shit that it shouldn't think. So yeah. And then I've had anxiety about just generalized social situations, and I've had anxiety about, let's see what I've had anxiety about. I think I've had anxiety about people people bullying me, or people calling me names, or people making fun of my autism, or just in general, people treating me badly at school. That's something I've had anxiety about because I've dealt with bullying and such. So I've had some periods in my life where I was anxious that somebody was going to bully me or something along those lines. Or the thing I'm mostly anxious about is at school is like if people are going to ignore me because ignorance is almost worse than bullying. Ignoring a person can hurt more than bullying at times, especially if the person's feeling depressed. So yeah, I do still deal with anxiety, but I've learned to cope with most of the anxiety I'm dealing with, and I'm gonna make a video on how to cope with generalized anxiety and social anxiety. So the thing that I can give right now about social anxiety is try to build your social life up by pursuing your interests and socializing with people who've got the same interests as you. For example, I go to cubing competitions because I love speed cubing and love being with people who are cubing. And the thing is that just makes me less social anxious. And then I eventually can be social in other situations that I'm not usually social in. And yeah. Oh yeah, like a thing that can make you cope with anxiety is having something in your hands or having something to look at while being in a new social situation, just looking away from the people. So what I do for that is this, because that just helps me a ton, and I've used it a lot. Like, you could use a Rubik's Cube, especially if it's quiet. I recommend the Dian Tingyun M for quiet cubing. There we go. So that's one of my techniques for coping with anxiety, and another technique for coping with generalized anxiety. Generalized anxiety is to be occupied with something else in your anxiety, like doing cubing or playing video games or something, and that can sometimes distract you off your anxiety or your anxiety focus. Because you can focus so much on something that you believe it, like something irrational. I'm not gonna go into detail, but something irrational, and it can get to a mess. Let's just say that. So yeah, that's it. That's my talk about anxiety. Hope you enjoy it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you haven't already done so, subscribe. Like my Facebook page. I post cubing related content. See you guys later.